Hello and welcome to the Everyday Eurasia podcast, inspiring faith for every day. Each day we are on a journey with Jesus in our churches, our homes, our workplaces, and in so many different places around the world. Isn't it beautiful that no matter where we are, we can walk with Him every single day? Jesus is the one who connects us all and stands at the very center of our lives, day after day. Through this podcast, you'll hear voices from across the region, sharing devotionals that reminds us of God's presence in our everyday moments. This week we will join David Gilmour. David is lead pastor of Llay Church of the Nazarene in North Wales, United Kingdom. He is a thankful husband to Sarah, father to Nathan, and walking buddy to Cleo the dog. He will prepare us before we enter the season of Lent.
One of the many things I love about this particular branch on the Christian family tree that we call the Church of the Nazarene is the fact that we absolutely refuse to put any kind of limit on what the grace of God can do. We reject the idea that He has chosen a select happy few to rescue and save and harden His heart to everyone else. No, we know that His arms are wide open to embrace and redeem and restore any and all who are willing to accept His wonderful salvation. We reject the idea that what He accomplished on the cross was primarily about His wrath at our sin and brokenness and fallenness. Instead, we celebrate the death and resurrection of our Lord as being primarily and fundamentally a declaration of divine love. Look at how far I'm willing to go for you. Look at how low I'm willing to stoop for you. Look at how much I'm willing to endure for you. And we reject the idea that He is only able to accomplish a work of cleansing that's skin deep. We hold that God's grace is so strong and its work is so deep that it reaches all the way to our heart and not only cleanses it, but transforms it. That's what King David is talking about in Psalm 51. It reflects the lowest point of his life. He's failed in his duty to the nation. He's used his power and position to take advantage of an innocent woman. He's conspired to murder her husband to cover up the heinousness of his crime. This man after God's own heart fell so far, so fast. But God wasn't done with him. He sent his prophet Nathan to rebuke the king, who instantly, truly and humbly repents. And this psalm is the result. It's a painfully, achingly honest confession of his sin and a plea for God to lavish upon him the grace he so desperately needs. But David isn't just looking for forgiveness, he's seeking transformation. He says, "Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me." David doesn't ask the Lord to declare that he's innocent, like a judge who knows this person is guilty but chooses to overlook the offense. No, the king asks God to make him innocent. Don't just overlook the guilt, but truly and fully remove it. He doesn't just ask the Lord to make him clean so that he can go and get himself dirty all over again. No, he asks God to do such a deep work of heart cleansing and heart transforming that he is kept clean. I'm sure you love to sing, "He breaks the power of cancelled sin. He sets the prisoner free." Not free to go back to their chains, but free to leave behind that old path of self-destructive sin and live in the glorious liberty that is only available to the people of God. In our tradition, we call that entire sanctification, this deep, powerful work of God's grace whereby He answers David's prayer. He creates in us a pure heart. It's like our heart is a compass needle. Without this sanctifying work, it spins inevitably and unavoidably towards sin. And no matter how hard we try, we can't make it go in any other direction. But in this sanctifying grace, this making holy grace, the compass needle is reset towards its true north, towards God. and his highest glory and our most perfect good. Now, that doesn't mean that we're immune to sin. No one forces you to follow your compass. You can still choose to ignore it and get dangerously lost, but it means that that's no longer naturally who we are. It's no longer naturally where we go. It's no longer our default setting. And as Nazarenes, we lean hard into this unbridled, unbounded optimism of grace, a grace so strong and so rich and so perfect that it takes away our heart of stone and replaces it with a heart of flesh that can really and truly love the Lord our God with heart, soul, mind and strength, and our neighbour as ourselves. A grace so wonderful that we no longer follow God's commands due to some external force like tablets of stone. Instead, his law is written on our hearts, and so we obey him like dearly loved, perfectly loving children. A grace so faithful that day by day God keeps the promise given to Joseph through the angel that he will save his people not in their sin, and not to keep on sinning. He will save his people from their sin. A grace so amazing that the power of the slave-driving sin is broken and shattered and crushed once and for all and forever as it's trampled underfoot and made into a public spectacle at the cross. That's who we are as Nazarenes. We're a people who lean hard and unapologetically into the optimism of grace. A grace that not only declares us righteous, but actually makes us righteous. A grace that not only cleanses our hearts, but transforms our hearts. A grace that not only commands us to be holy, but invites us to participate in the holiness of God. What a privilege to be a part of what God is doing in his world through this people called Nazarenes.
Thank you for listening to the Everyday Eurasia podcast, inspiring faith for every day. For more everyday stories, subscribe on this podcast channel, follow our socials Facebook and Instagram, or our newsletter snapshots. For our newsletter and further information about the Eurasia region, visit our website eurasiaregion.org.